Are your people working hard but not reaching their full potential? The problem is not effort, it is development. At the Modern Observer Group, we transform workforce development into real performance. Our human-centered achievement programs help your team think better, communicate stronger, and execute at a higher level. That means higher employee engagement, stronger leadership, and measurable results across your organization. If you want a workforce that performs, leads, and delivers, it is time to invest in your people. Visit modernobserver.com and discover how the Modern Observer Group helps you build a workforce that wins.
Potential progress in Iran talks, U.S. companies adding jobs, the death of a media mogul, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. President Trump said Wednesday that the United States had very good talks with Iran over the past 24 hours and said it was very possible the two sides could make a deal. Iran said it was reviewing a new U.S. proposal delivered through Pakistan. The proposal was described as a possible one-page memorandum to end the Gulf War and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, while leaving unresolved issues, including Iran's nuclear program, for later talks. Trump also paused Project Freedom, the U.S. operation to guide commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices fell and global markets rose after reports of progress. Iran's top negotiator said the U.S. proposal was aimed at forcing Tehran's surrender. Trump said the war could end if Iran agreed to the proposal. The United Kingdom raised its national terror threat level to severe, meaning an attack is considered highly likely. Security experts are warning that Britain's illegal migration crisis is adding to broader concerns over border control and vetting. The UK's Joint Terrorism Analysis Centre raised the national threat level from substantial to severe last week following a stabbing attack in Golders Green in North London, warning that the broader Islamist terror threat in Britain has been increasing for some time. At the same time, official figures cited by GB News and The Sun show small boat arrivals across the English Channel are approaching the 200,000 mark, intensifying political debate over illegal immigration, deportations, and national security. The luxury cruise ship linked to a hantavirus outbreak left Cape Verde for Spain's Canary Islands on Wednesday after 3 people were evacuated. Health officials said there were 5 laboratory-confirmed cases and 3 deaths connected to the cluster. The ship had nearly 150 passengers and crew aboard. Those evacuated included 2 people with confirmed cases and 1 suspected case. 2 were described as seriously ill. The World Health Organization said hantavirus is usually spread through rodent droppings and rarely spreads person to person. Authorities are tracing contacts in multiple countries. The vessel had traveled from Argentina through the South Atlantic before reaching waters off Cape Verde. Health officials said the outbreak may have begun after exposure linked to travel in Argentina. Remaining passengers and crew were expected to be assessed after arrival in Spain. A new report from the Hartford Institute for Religion Research shows that for the first time in roughly 20 years, church attendance is trending upward, with more people volunteering and clergy expressing renewed optimism. The study's author described the findings, based on a survey of more than 7,400 congregations, as showing signs of widespread recovery from low attendance numbers. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission sued the New York Times, alleging the company discriminated against a white man who was passed over for a promotion. The lawsuit was filed in federal court. The agency said the employee was denied advancement because of race and sex. The case comes as the Federal Civil Rights Agency continues pursuing workplace discrimination claims. The lawsuit identifies the New York Times as the defendant and seeks court relief under federal employment discrimination law. The lawsuit begins the court process, where the claims will be tested through litigation unless the parties reach a settlement. Apple agreed to pay $250 million to settle a class action lawsuit over delayed artificial intelligence features for Siri. The lawsuit accused Apple of promoting AI capabilities for iPhone 16 and some iPhone 15 models that were not available when the devices were sold. The devices were purchased in the United States between June 10th, 2024 and March 29th, 2025. Apple did not admit wrongdoing. The settlement still needs court approval. Eligible users could receive at least $25 per device, with possible payments of up to $95, depending on the number of claims. The lawsuit followed Apple's promotion of Apple Intelligence and upgraded Siri features in 2024. Apple later said the full Siri upgrade would not arrive until 2026. U.S. private employers added 109,000 jobs in April, according to the ADP National Employment Report released Wednesday. The March figure was revised to 61,000. Economists had expected a smaller gain. Education and health services added 61,000 jobs. Construction added 10,000. Professional and business services lost 8,000 jobs. The report was produced by ADP with the Stanford Digital Economy Lab. The ADP report does not always predict the federal government's payroll report, which includes public sector jobs and is based on separate data. The government's April jobs report is scheduled for release Friday. Economists expect the official report to show 62,000 non-farm jobs added and the unemployment rate holding at 4.3%. Layoffs remained low and job availability showed some improvement. Ted Turner, the brash media mogul who launched CNN and reshaped American television, died Wednesday after a long battle with Lewy body dementia. He was 87. Tucker, who won the nickname the Mouth of the South for his often off-color remarks, inherited his father's Atlanta billboard firm in 1963 and built it into a broadcasting empire, pioneering the superstation concept with WTBS and launching TBS, TNT, Cartoon Network, and Turner Classic Movies in the early days of cable. In 1980, Turner debuted CNN, the first 24-hour cable news network, transforming how Americans and indeed the world consumed news. He sold Turner Broadcasting to Time Warner for $7.3 billion in 1996. Turner was an avid sportsman as well. He skippered the winning yacht in the 1977 America's Cup and owned the Atlanta Braves, who won the 1995 World Series. He also became one of America's largest landowners, championing bison conservation. That's the Raw Naked Truth for May 7th, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.